Governing your truck. Is this a good idea or a bad idea? Mike got a boatload of paperwork to explain the reality behind it.
Yeah, governing your truck. I think as we're talking as an owner-operator, that's a pretty... I would say that's a lack of self-control. That's the only real reason that I see why would I do it. Because I did have like at least one specific truck back in my days that had like a really, really crappy fuel economy.
Okay.
And for me to have anything over 6.5 miles per gallon, I had to be 63 miles per hour or less.
Right. So even if you decide to govern it or not govern it because lack of, self-control, the idea behind it, man, like you got to think like all these big boy companies, like I'm talking major companies, spend millions and millions of dollars on researching what is the prime speed to be at to have the best fuel savings.
Yeah, and you still have to be somewhat reasonable because, like I've heard that once you pass 55 miles an hour, every 5 miles takes a gallon away.
On every kind of truck?
That's just an old math. I remember I read that research probably like 15 years ago. So we're not talking about new trucks.
Okay.
But I assume, the physics are still physics. So it's kind of, the speed and, RPMs, the weight, everything together, it's going to have an effect on your fuel mileage.
Yeah, I think fuel is, man, like you have to pay attention to this because fuel is one of the highest expenses for an owner-operator that's out there.
Yeah, it actually is the highest one. And, because of that, a lot of people don't really pay attention. But, man, like I can tell you this. You take a crappy truck and a really, really good truck with a really good fuel economy, and we can run the same mileage, same loads, everything is identical, and then one guy is killing it, and another guy can't make it just because of fuel economy. I've seen situations where we had like a lookalike loads or stuff like that, and I've seen people running the same loads, and just because the fuel economy, we just can't break through. It's just that bad.
Yeah, I've seen I saw the same situation, and on the settlement check, man, it was $1,000 difference, and the only changing factor wasn't even the loads, it wasn't the times or anything. It was actually just the truck, man. Like one guy's 4 miles to the gallon, the other guy was like 6.5 or 7. So that makes a difference.
And what blows me away a lot of times, like when you ask an owner-operator, like, hey, what's your fuel mileage? And sometimes we don't know. So if you just got this truck, bro, like, okay, like you're going to learn, right? Mm-hmm. But man, like if you had that truck for a little bit and you don't know, that's a little problematic.
Yeah, so it's a major factor to keep an eye on, especially if you have the older trucks. You get a lot of 99s that roll through 2000s, 2001s and stuff like that. Because even though you don't have a truck payment on that bad boy, is it even effective anymore?
Yeah, because like again, the fuel economy, like crappy fuel economy and no truck payment is gonna make you less money than pretty large payment with a really good fuel economy.
Yeah, because it's hard to see, man. Like sometimes we know the industry, right? Ups and downs, and in a good market, right? Everybody's making money, so it's hard to see that you're leaving money on the table. Because there's enough to go around, enough to pay bills, enough to get things done. But you're really not, you're not calculating how much extra you could have made just because everything is enough. So it's deemed okay. And once it gets a little tighter and that market gets pretty rough, then you're going to feel the pain a lot more.
Of course. But at the end of the day, that counts all the time, even in good market. Yeah. Like, back in 2021, the settlement, like 4,000 or 5,000, both are good.
I'll take 5.
But I'll take 5 any day. So, like it's kind of... you got to pay attention.
So there you go, guys. Pay attention to your fuel economy. It is one of the most important parts of your business.
Absolutely. And sometimes, if you cannot figure out the way to cut that fuel economy down by driving habits, just taking care of your truck, looking into it, seeing what's the problem, right? I would argue, like sometimes it would probably be worth to take a hit on upgrading the truck and taking a loss on your current loan and everything else for the fuel economy alone, because that's a big deal.
So there you go, guys. Be safe, drive safe.
Take care.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Yep.
Operators looking for the best business owner opportunity, look no further. I got all the programs that are going to make you successful. Everything to operating from 2 different fuel cards, top of the line trailers with a maintenance program that is unbeatable, to plates, insurance, you name it, we got it. All you got to do is give us a call, 863-342-5171. Learn more and get started.